Hello, here's Andreas from Sepultura, and may the rock be with you. Destroy!
Welcome to May the Rock be with you, Andreas. It's a pleasure to talk to you today. I've never spoken to anyone from Sepultura before, so this is an absolute honor, and what a way to go
What's
out.
wrong with you, man?
I know what's going on, but we're saving the best for last, and we'll get into that and as to
Very
why. Now,
nice, thank you.
that's all right, mate. We're here for a couple of reasons. So let's start with the new EP, right? So the final
Sure.
EP. Can you tell us
Yeah.
a bit about the Cloud of Unknowing and how the idea came about? And was there a thought of this is it? Do we have to go out with a bang?
It all happened very spontaneously because when we announced the farewell tour, we didn't have any plans to record anything new. Of course, we had the idea to do the live album, which is still a project for next year. 40 songs recorded in 40 different cities around the world. We are recording everything and stuff, but we're touring with Grayson. Grayson came into the band. He brought a whole new energy, new ideas, and a whole new thing, coming with him. And touring with Sepultura on this farewell tour is a great vibe. We are celebrating the end in a fantastic manner. And during sound checks or backstage, like warming up, we always come with something cool. And I felt the chemistry was flowing. We had something there with Grayson. And we had the chance to go to the 70,000 tons of metal last year, which is Miami, Jamaica, Miami. And since we were there, and I know this studio, which is the Criteria Studios in Miami, a fantastic studio, a historical, iconic studio. I worked there before with different projects and stuff. I thought we could be a good idea. Since we were there, we could go to the studio, spend 10 days there. I have always demos and ideas that are flowing. Actually, the riffs from The Place, for instance, is a riff that I wrote on the lockdown, just working around, was very spontaneous stuff. So I gathered some stuff. We went to the studio, and we worked there without the name of the album, without name for the songs, without the release date, without any idea from the cover. We just went there to jam, and it was a fantastic feeling, man. I never worked in an album so relaxed like that. No people from the label or press, with deadlines and stuff. Of course, we have our time there, but very relaxed, very free. Sacred Books, for instance, the song 3, we wrote in the studio.
Hmm.
There, like thinking, coming up with ideas, the piano solo and stuff. So it was a very, like I said, we never worked something like that before. And then throughout the year, we mixed the album like months later, talked to the artist, to find the right artist for the cover, came up with the name and the songs and etc. And finally everything is ready to be out now. So it came up, and that's the best, right? If you don't plan too much, if you don't put too much expectation on your planning, because you have a tendency to do that. Once you plan something, you put everything there and stuff. You have expectations and etc. And this time, no, was very spontaneous, very very artistic. It's very Sepultura 2026, or 25.
Amazing. Like I've heard it and I love it. And what I loved about when you talked about the place, I love the way the song just rings out. It's almost like when you leave your instruments on the stage and walk off. Was it poetic to close things out that way? Sort of like this is we're actually just walking off the stage in essence.
Yeah, it can be read that way. I think once again, it was something not planned that way. It's just the way it is, just the way it felt. I mean, we have 4 songs. How we gonna build that? How the order and stuff, and the place felt like a good ending for this EP. And as I said, I mean, you never know about the future, and we don't have to decide anything now. let it ring. Maybe we pick up the instruments later, or maybe we turn down the volume forever. Who knows? But it's open. That's the beauty of it all. It's always open. The future is always open. So we don't have to decide, and it's irrelevant if you're gonna stay forever or if you're gonna come back in 3 or 10 years. Who knows? I mean, the most important thing is that we are closing a chapter right now, and we have to respect that, and it's very healthy for us, not only personally in our personal lives, but also artistically, to challenge ourselves to do something different. And maybe in the future we can come back with a whole new crazy Sepultura. Who
Okay, well,
knows?
I look forward to that. So, as it gets closer, though, what are the feelings like now compared to when you announced that you decided to finish things up? Is it starting to sound more real now? Starting to feel like crazy real?
Yeah, a little bit of everything. Like I said, we are enjoying every second. It's a fantastic, much better actually than we expected. I mean, we have a great lineup. We have amazing crew, management, and the fans. I mean, we're having a blast, man. Amazing tours in amazing places, fulfilling wishes like going to Iceland or having a chance to play at the Lollapalooza in Brazil, which is not a metal fest and stuff. And we were there jamming. It was great. So it feels great. Of course, I mean, when we look to the future, it's always a little scary because you don't know, right? But that's the beauty of freedom. To be free, that's an amazing feeling. You don't have to be the Andreas Kisser from Sepultura, that stereotype, whatever that, concept of what I am for you or the fan. I'd like to challenge that. I challenge myself, every day. Why I'm not gonna challenge the fan? It's like it's a natural consequence of what we are. Sepultura was always very honest to our fans, and we never hide anything. We were very open in our lyrics, in the elements we use in our music. And of course, we gain fans doing that, and we lose fans doing that. That's okay. That's normal. And it's great to not to be in this comfort zone, which is the worst, for an artist. Like repeating yourself, trying and trying to recreate stuff from the past. That's pathetic. You always in the same place. You don't move. You don't fear. You don't have like anxiety in a good sense, in artistic sense, that you have to put something out. So it's great. I mean, we are having the time of our life, man. And the future we will build with the present, right, as always.
Yeah, fair enough. I absolutely love that. So it's easy to say, though, change is a thing that's easy to talk about, right? So a lot changes over the years. But what's the one thing that you think always stayed the same about Sepultura?
The love for what we do. We love what we do, man. We with all the challenges, with all the difficult uh, uh, things to be an artist. It's very hard to be an artist anywhere, anytime. You always have to have the feeling that you have to prove yourself to yourself, and then and and once you express, yeah, an art is a very open chest, right? It's very fragile, position, the stage. You dare, you're very open and stuff, and that's beautiful as well. I mean, it's something that if you respect that, you're not a slave of yourself. The scary thing is to be like a slave of the business. Try to deal music as a product. It is, but it's not that. Art is not there. You have to deal with that. You have to pay your bills. You have to live life according to the rules somebody organized, and we have to follow. But at the same time, we have art that we have to challenge these rules. We give new options. We give new feelings, stuff that you feel yourself, not coming from outside, but from inside to outside. That's the beauty of art. And that's the precious thing that we're never gonna lose, because we love what we do, and that we're not scared. We have no fear to stop Sepultura in our peak. To open new doors. That will be good for us, to will be good for our fans, will be good to our friends and family, new energies, new frequencies that we can develop something new for the future, which is great.
Okay, looking forward to that. We'll get into that. Now, you were just here in Australia. You've always had an amazing relationship with us down here. What do you think it is about Sepultura that resonated with Australian audiences? And what was it like playing those final shows here?
It's the South Hemisphere power, man. I don't know. I mean, in Brazil and Australia, we see a lot of similarities. Of course, the weather, the beaches, everything of of the beauty of this part of the world, like the opposite sides. But you know what I mean, right? The vibes and stuff. And Australia, regardless of the formation of Sepultura, was always very warm and welcome to Sepultura. Even on the hard times of the changing Max and all the structure from Sepultura, which was very very difficult for us to rebuild. Everything from scratch basically, and but was a great lesson. And Australia was always with us. And we are always very thankful for that, man. We love to go to Australia. We have great friends. We have great memories, and we were so happy to have this opportunity on this farewell to go and do this amazing tour. It was a fantastic.
Awesome. Now, let's look back at the career because has there been one moment that will always come to you when you think of the best thing that ever happened to you or the band?
They always do. I mean, this question I always like to answer today, right now, talking to you.
I'll take that.
That's the best. That's the best. That's the best of all, the present moment, because you have everything that happened to your life, or at least everything you remember, right? And unconsciously as well, the stuff that you remember consciously is there also working with you. All the good and bad times. I wouldn't change anything. So, oh, well, what do you say to your younger self? Dude, just go. Don't talk to me. you know, because otherwise I wouldn't be here now, with that. So every moment was crucial, was important. All the big festivals, or meeting our idols like Ozzy and Black Sabbath, and jamming with Metallica, and all the amazing stuff that we only dreamt, and even stuff that we never even imagined it happened. Our reality was much further and much more intense than any dream that we are capable of having when we were younger. So it's really hard to mention one specific place. I like to say Against was a very important, because there we reconnected, we saw a different future, and we were challenged to rebuild Sepultura from there. It was a very important moment, otherwise we wouldn't be here today. But like I said, I think the moment is today, with all the good feelings and the memories we have.
Excellent, man. I love that. Now, let's talk about legacy. How do you want Sepultura to be remembered?
I don't care. Feel free. It's not my problem.
Oh, that's
I just
brilliant.
do what I do, because I mean, you're free to feel whatever you want, I mean, how you gonna generalize, have a general idea what feeling or what relationship you have with the band. I have my relationship with Black Sabbath or Metallica, that it's mine. Their legacy, it's with me. That's why I do what I do. I mean, they are what my my inspiration. One of them, of course, but it's free. I don't like to dictate anything. Who knows? The future, it doesn't belong to me. It's like when I'm dead or Sepultura is gone, like Motorhead. Motorhead's still alive. With
Well,
me, listening and inspiring memories and stuff. That's what I'm gonna take till the day I die. That's the legacy they left with me. And that's the important thing.
great answer. So, what does the end look like for the band? Is there a date set for a final show? Have you got a date where you pretty much just hang up the guitar for a while?
Yeah, we are planning and preparing a very big party here in São Paulo, Brazil. Um, we are very close to announce everything. It's like huge job to put together, but we're gonna do a big celebration here around November, like a big show, and we're gonna broadcast worldwide. And we like to have like a big party, man. You know, to celebrate the moment, to celebrate today. You know, this is a very special moment to say thank you to the world and that this amazing relationship that we had throughout Sepultura, music and everything, you know. So it will be a very special moment here in Brazil among our family and friends. Um, and very soon we're going to announce everything, all the details.
Okay, we'll look out for that. So, have you got an idea of what next for you? What do you know what you're going to do after this? Have you got an idea what you want to do?
Well, I mean, we all have a lot of things going on parallel to Sepultura. I have a band called De La Tierra. I have a radio show here in Sao Paulo with my son. I have different movements that I work here in Brazil, not only related to music, but to other subjects and stuff. Paulo has Cultura 3, he has a bar in Amsterdam. Derek has a TV show, and Grayson, you know, playing with a lot of people around. So we already have a lot of stuff going on. Of course, we're gonna have more time, you know, to put on certain things, but open doors and open possibilities. You know, I know so many musicians and so many people around the world, but I like to challenge myself to do something different. You know, use a lot more of the acoustic guitar, work with art and painting and drawings and seeing and work in music in a different way. I wouldn't like to leave Sepultura and start a band similar to Sepultura and to go to the same touring and same people and same writing. You know, it's like it will make no sense to me. You know, so I like to challenge myself to do something different, and I'm already working that. I have a project here that mixture painting and drawings with music, one influencing each other. You know, poetry, declamation, and stuff, and it's great. It's really exciting, you know, to start something new.
Awesome, man. Sounds like you know what's going on. Now, lastly, as always, what I do with everybody is we look ahead to the future with a prediction. So I want you to finish this sentence for me. This one might be easy. By the end of 2026, Sepultura will.
Die.
Okay.
Yeah. Sepultura and die. Yeah, they mix. They fit together.
Yeah, I love
Grave
that.
and die.
Beautiful.
No, I mean Sepultura. Yeah, yeah. We'll just leave it die.
Yeah, okay. Andreas, thanks for your time, man. Absolute pleasure. I'm glad we finally got to
Thank you.
chat. You know, it's awesome, and I hope we get to down the road again.
Never too late.
Thanks, mate. Nice to talk to you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Bye bye.
bye. Thank you for watching our interview with Andreas from Sepultura. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel, and check out maytherockbewithyou.com for everything else.